So, you want to get better at using your mace. Well, I have some tips for you. Coming from a guy who used to be really bad at using his mace, these tips were the perfect way to start and exactly how I learned how to use it well. Okay, so the best way to become better at mace PvP is to learn how to attribute swap. And it's actually really easy. Um, the easiest way to do this is if you have your mouse, you have to use the side buttons. I personally bind my top one to my 8 key and my bottom one to my 7 key, right? So then if we want to look at my mace kit, here's my kit. So I'll hold my axe out when I go up, and as I'm coming down, I switch to my density mace, and I swing and switch at the exact same time, and it should do a lot of damage. A great way to start is by learning on wardens. Wardens have the most health of any mob that's spawnable in the game. Because of this, they're great to practice using our mace on. Alright, remember, we go up with the wind charge, use our axe, and then click our upper side mouse button and left click at the same time, and we'll do the damage. Alrighty, ready? Up, axe, mace, axe, mace. This is a very easy system to replicate. Now that you've seen it on a warden, let's see what it looks like on real players in real time. Remember, so we want to go up, hold our axe, and immediately switch to our mace. This is what it should look like all put together. Now that we've learned how to use our axe and our mace together, let's learn how to use the spear. The best way I could tell you to use the spear is by actually putting it in your 8 slot instead of your mace. By putting it in our 8 slot, it becomes a lot easier to lunge swap. Instead, I put the mace in the 7 slot. All you have to do is just learn how to use that 7 slot instead of the 8 slot with your axe. It's very simple, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always put your spear in your 7 slot. Alright, now, when it comes to lunging, here's how it works. When you're sprinting and jumping, that's the first part. Then, all you're going to do is click your front side button, which for me is my 8 key, and my left click button, which should do that. Once you can do that, go back to your 1. You're just going to repeat it over and over again. That's all it is. It's just switching back and forth like that. I suggest putting the wind charges in your 1 slot because the 1 slot is really accessible for your ring finger if you're a righty. Once you've mastered the running lunge, then you're going to want to try wind bursting to do it. It becomes a lot harder this way, but it does get you a lot more distance. It's the exact same thing, except you're just doing it in the air. You might be asking, Zach, when are you going to teach us how to use the elytra? And the answer is, not in this video, because I myself do not know how to use the elytra. Just about a week ago, I was horrible at mace PvP. Now I can really hold my own, all because I learned how to switch from my axe to my mace consistently. There's going to be matches when you play someone who's using their elytra. However, don't get flustered, stick to what you know, and use your axe and your mace. It's way more powerful than you think, and it does a ton of damage. If you can land it, you're very likely to pop their totem even in full maxed out netherite armor. This means all you have to do is hit them 3 times. 3 strong hits will win you the battle. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Zach, and I hope you enjoyed.